afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, amazing Propagandacast with the one, the only, Master Propaganda, Imperial Dane himself. Woo. Anyways, we're off here to 1 vs 1 on a Faymonville Approach in the northwest. It is Refero, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the 107th Panzer Brigade versus in the southeast, it is Lenfer, fighting for King and Country. The Guards Armoured Division, part of 30th Corps here, as they are bashing their way towards Arnhem. We got Blitzkrieg, Osram, and Lightning War here for Refero with infantry, anti-tank gun, and Panther bulletins versus Lenfers, Commando, Lend-Lease Assault, and Royal Engineers. With the machine gun infantry and Cromwell bulletins there, Lenfer lining up for the most furious of furious assaults against the dastardly Hun. We got Grenadiers MD-42s there with triple sections there for Lenfer. Fun fact about Operation Market Garden. There were a lot of reasons, by the way, as to why it failed, but the usual ones, we can always sort of talk about later, but I feel like one of them is, it wasn't just that some say they were optimistic, they just blindly ignored reality in some cases. I mean, say, they ignored the two SS Panzer units they had in Holland. Again, that was a problem. It wasn't just that. I mean, they pretty much assumed that somehow the Germans would be unable to move things from Germany, which is right next to Holland, towards there in, any time that wasn't, several months. Like, they somehow assumed, the Germans would not be able to move reinforcements from Germany to Holland, before the next year. I mean, already they sort of kind of have to go, hang on, do you know geography? We're talking Germany and Holland, not Germany and, I don't know, Venezuela. So, I mean, already it's like some big warning signs, actually. Bit of a fun fact there. But also, there's also the more fun fact, really, about the two SS Panzer divisions, or the remnants of them. They have both been trained in anti-paratrooper tactics, which I find is always really amusing and somehow, in a rather tragic way, but still, that, somehow, again, they managed to land all of their stuff right next to those units. But anyways, quadruple section there for Lenfer, to sort of get more action going on now, which is sort of what we're trying to talk here, to sort of speed things up in a sense. We got Commander Regiment here for Lenfer, so yeah, we're going to see some air support in there for him. Aggressive commandos and whatnot, but 4 sections actually quite bold there. No universal carry now. Vickers machine guns there for Lenfer so far. Lots of Grenadiers there for Refero as well. Grenadiers moving up north here for the Vic fuel point there to defense. The southern one here to Lenfer. MG42 moving eastwards. I mean, mind you, some of all the stuff they moved from Germany to Holland were also just, a series of training and replacement units, like training battalions for Panzer Grenadiers. And, actually a Tiger tank unit as well there that was actually made up of school Tiger tanks, which was basically just whatever Tiger tanks, sort of spare parts they'd put together with a wood stove engine or gas stove engine. They sort of had to, fix that up as well. So there's some, fun facts there, which is one reason why I find Market Garden to be such an interesting sort of scenario, if you will, battle there, because there's just so many weird things going on there. And we've got Grenadiers moving against the section there, Pioneers on the other side, goes pushed there by Refero. We got section up against the Grenadiers there, section they're trying to flank the machine gun, but they aren't quickly being turned around here, but it looks a bit, at least it's getting a bit worried here. Section versus Grenadiers here. Grenadiers actually landing a lot of good hits there though, despite the section there being in heavy car, meaning they're getting the heavy car bonus, they meant that some of those taking up, but even then, with the heavy car bonus, which just, makes them more lethal, they should have done more damage to the Grenadiers, but somehow Refero just got all the luck there, which is quite impressive. MD forcing up with more Grenadiers. We got 4th Grenadiers going away there for Refero. So 4 Grenadiers, 1 MD42 versus 4 sections there for Lenfer, who has, by the way, teched up there for the platoon command post. He's going for 5th section. Wow, he is just committing heavily to infantry here versus Refero. Grenadiers being routed here. Continues skirmishing about in the northern house and fuel point there. At the same time, the Lenfer's making a good flank here, trying to get around here at the car point and force Refero to react to this. 4th Grenadiers got there ready for Refero and the 107th Panzer Brigade, which was one of the armoured formations that were rapidly rushed from Germany towards there. As a fun note, actually it might have been slightly south of Germany. Anyways, it was there. There was also a heavy tank destroyer battalion, which was actually primarily composed of Stugs and a few Yak Panthers. Those also rushed in there. And it's got section charging at the Grenadiers in 2 sections. What's Grenadiers got with the 3rd section all the way there. Refero can maybe hold the line here for a few seconds. We're going to treat before they risk getting utterly annihilated. So yeah, 5 sections here for Lenfer. We'll have to see what it follows up there. More sections, Commandos. At this point with Commando, Assault is starting to look really good, since it's obviously an ability that really wants you to have a lot of infantry to attack with. Since, they get to sprint, they get to fire, plus you get sort of air reconnaissance. This could be really nasty stuff here. The Lenfer set up against Refero, who's so far holding out nicely, trying to disrupt Lenfer's fuel flow there by hitting the car point here with a machine gun and Grenadiers. Nice play here. Up north, Lenfer making another strike here for the northern fuel point. Very good. Back here, Grenadiers reinforcing. Healing reinforcing. Minor casualties there. Heading south as the Grenadiers MD-42. Going to be doing further southwards. Machine gun there as well, grabbing the point here. Big push there by Lenfer with the 2 sections. Well, medium push really. Heading the fuel point there. Going to do a bit on watch. Further skirmishing. Going to have to retreat. Lots of action here so far. Back and forth between Lenfer and Refero, both shifting towards either fuel point. To that, we're trying to gain the upper hand there. We got Refero there with the like to make a nice company. Noting no panzer grenadiers here for Refero, which I think, you know, is a bit of an... I mean, obviously you can just not go for them, but I do feel like panzer grenadiers versus section, in particular unupgraded ones, are actually pretty good. Like, I think people underestimate just how effective the assault rifles can be versus the infantry section. So I feel like Refero would benefit there, but then again, I mean, he's clearly had the strategy in mind with 4 grenadiers MG42, and that's obviously also going to work out nicely. So we'll probably see what it's going to be there. 2-2s, pack 4s could be nice here versus Lenfer. Of course, at the same time, Refero might be having a bit of a hard time figuring out what Lenfer's up to when he's pushing for 5 sections. I mean, usually it would be, you know, 3 sections, universal carrier, then bolster. But instead, he's just going for 5 sections unupgraded. So Lenfer's clearly playing at another strategy. And again, it may again involve assault here, which certainly also stands out a bit there. Finding back in the north, seizing territory there, grabbing back territory here. Lots of back and forth. Refero, of course, will also probably want to consider taking up sooner rather than later, so to bring up more armor. And we got a 6th section here for Lenfer. 6 sections! Holy smokes! That is absolutely bananas. 6 infantry sections. That is, of course, going to be very draining in terms of manpower, but also be quite the challenge to manage, since it has been to manage 6 separate pieces on the battlefield across an increasingly large frontage here. So, I mean, on one hand, it can be really powerful, but at the same time, there's a lot of risk involved here for Lenfer. So it's going to be certainly a big test of his infantry management skills and unit preservation, because this is the sort of stuff that where things can very quickly go very wrong. But again, if he can manage it, it could be very nasty, and certainly will force Refero to consider some more hard counters to this. I mean, while he does have a lot of sections, for example, it's going to be quite vulnerable to vehicles, so for example, some fast 2-2s could be an option. Then again, the AC there is clearly in reserve to deal with that, but even then, it might just be able to make an opening there then for Refero to then also maybe toss down some telemines. The other option, of course, be a fast Ostwind. That would just put more pressure on the sections, and so in that regard, the Ostwind is better suited for dealing with the AC anyways. Going to do this retreating, reinforcing healing here. Going to do some watch here by the centre victory point up north here. Grenadiers, wiped and light machine gun drop. That's pretty bad there for Refero. Great for Lenfer, particularly naps at MD42 there so far. I don't think he's seen it actually, which is great for Refero if Lenfer does not see the MG42. Refero quickly replacing infantry losses. And Lenfer's just hitting all the fuel. In fact, he's rapidly taking up his 6 sections and then going for the company command post. That is some serious tacking there. And certainly it's one of the British Army strengths in the game. I mean, they can just rapidly get towards like their tier 3 and begin pushing out armor that way. I mean, hell, technically you could argue it's a tier 2, because I mean, you basically got this and then you got this. I mean, you could argue it's a tier 2. It's a pretty, you know, expensive one later compared to other tier 2s, but you know, it's pretty damn fast. Of course, going to take some time to get our armor, but even then, he is so far, it would seem, successful pulling off an armor rush here versus Refero, who's certainly struggling to catch up. He's got the like to make a nice company up, but he's yet to get anything out of it, partly due to the infantry losses, so he hasn't been able to get out pack 40, and even then, Refero might be holding his finger there on the trigger, not quite wanting to pull it yet on that pack, since again, if it does go for an opponent, just keeps pouring in more infantry, the pack 40 is going to be dead weight. He's going for the mortar though. Mortars versus the British is of course quite good. Generally the Wehrmacht wants mortars. The synergizes nicely with the machine gun as well, since you know once they get suppressed, the mortar has a decent chance of dealing with that as well. So there's some thoughts going on there, but still I like the mortar there. I like the mortar. Section moving up, pick on this, trying to deal with that. Of course, needs to be careful not to lose another one. Machine gun thereby is still not picked up, and we're still at 6 sections here for Lenfer. From the DC holding off with the British, but it's not going to be very successful here for Refero as Lenfer just keeps pouring in infantry. Echo troops healing and reinforcing, hitting the southern fuel point there. Lenfer advances like a khaki tide. Don't call that brown tide. Troops here standing about, healing. More sections up there for the western point here, for aim to cut off Refero's fuel supply there, and of course that matter other resources. But now we got the mortar sounding off for the fatherland. Heading eastwards there with the pioneers, and again seems like no one is aware right now at least about that machine gun. Back here Lenfer can't quite go for a tank yet, but he's not far off either. I mean, He could for some rush out of centre, which would be very nasty for Refero, who's got no anti-tank weapons whatsoever, with a single pack before they could be triggered to deal with. Okay, we got commandos out, so he's now going for 7 infantry units, 6 sections, and a commando squad. Good God above. Refero's definitely going to need some tanks out. But he's slowly trying to push through the centre again here, where Lenfer's dug in heavily with a lot of sections. Making it very difficult there for Refero, just sort of rush his way through. Commandos here heading up north. Gliders here. Bit of skirmishing the ponies to get out of there. The MD4 commanders with the MD4 will be really bad news for Refero, but looks like he's trying to realise they're there, and he naps them with the pioneers. Salvadine MD4 denying it to Lenfer, and Lefero's not going for Pentagon, he's actually going for another Grenadier squad, pushing out 5 Grenadier squads. I mean, that's an option, though. I definitely would like to see, personally, seeing some Pentagon Grenadiers there. Grabbing the point here, back here, troops in enforcing for Refero, and we got assault in from Lenfer. We got assault. And he's going all in. He's charging here. Refero threatening to wipe out the machine gun here. Forced retreat. They're doing some heavy damage to it even as he's retreating. Certainly also forcing Refero to have to be a lot more careful, as again those sections can be very, very uncomfortable. Over here, Commander charging on the gun. He's quickly retreating. He is having nothing there to risk. He's flanking through the south. He's trying to attack here. Lenfer's push. Not a bad idea there, not a bad idea. Sticking to her as much as possible, which is the right idea. Section 8 taking heavy damage. Could see a wipe here. We could see a wipe, which certainly would be helpful here for Refero. And oh, he gets away. He gets away. Meanwhile, Lenfer this bringing up a center anti-aircraft tank here to bash Refero's brain inward. We got take out there for Refero, and that is absolutely necessary. He may have to go for Stuck here fast to deal with the center. There was also going to need to pack 40 out first. Noting, by the way, there's still no doctrine there from Refero and the German army. Pioneers heading south, with MD42 sandbagging there for the southern fuel point. There's a section nearby which could cause a bit of grief there. Center those almost on there for Lenfer. Troops in reinforcing. Take up halfway down there for Refero. And here we got Pioneers versus section. They would say the LMG42 on top of the Pioneers MP40s. They should have a chance as the section very much. Grenadiers into the commanders were ambushed nicely here by the fuel point, almost wiping out the entire Grenadier squad. Been quite costly there for Refero's machine gun sending up, but could get hit there with a light cannon bomb. To be cleared out. Oh, they apparently also get a bonus though using the brand guns now. Interesting. Didn't know that. Section charging 40, huge blow up there from Lenfer. Thankfully for Refero, he can't quite pop assault yet again. But there you go, tech up done. He should probably go for that. I mean, he could try and go for tier 4, though I would recommend at least some medium armor first before even considering that. Center here, bashing force there for Lenfer and the Guards Armor Division here. Grenadiers need to retreat. Section charging forward here. Troops are reinforcing. Pack forward in the way there. Very much in response to the center, since again, he's got no chance of getting out of Stuck on time anyways. So right now, Lenfer is sitting with a very strong hand here versus Refero. What with all the infantry, most of the map, and of course, the anti-infantry tank, anti-aircraft tank specifically. Of course, if Refero can get at some armor afterwards, that'd be very good for Refero. And again, Stuck I think would be sort of the immediate choice, though Ostman's down the road to help deal with infantry would also I think be a very solid choice here versus Lenfer. But there you go, Pack 40 being hold forward to the Panzer that can only theatric directed here on the center. Mortar land to hit as well, but that obviously doesn't do anything. Pioneers sitting southwards there with MD42 Grenadiers moving in as well there. Pack 40 slowly moving ahead, troops enforcing healing. No sign of the support caught yet here for Refero. And far up north here, Grenadiers squad they were light machine gun is quickly being pursued by the center. And there we go, Lenfer pops another assault. Once more, aggressively utilising his sheer infantry numbers here against Refero, like a sledgehammer. Brutal tactics, and certainly not the sort of British strategy you see often. In a sense they're common to blobbing, but not quite in these 6 infantry sections for the commander squad, and then consistently using assault sort of type of aggressive infantry stuff and blobbing there. So I mean, Lenfer's definitely pushing in another direction here with the British, which we don't get to see very often, which certainly is why I would say it's more interesting than the average Brit play. Still, Refero definitely needs to get the support coptic, and he's being hammered here by the centre as he moves forward. Assault about to wear off here against Refero. He's slowly pushing ahead, but Lenfer still sits with a strong hand. Again, soon, theoretically, he can just go for a second centre and just try and crush Refero. He could just go for crumbles. The other option is maybe to consider in specialisation or radius begin pushing for bigger stuff like Churchills or Comets.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
So we'll have to see what ends up with there. Holy smoke. Okay. Just looked like he was about to just go straight for tier 4 then again. He can do it, but I would recommend at least out like a Stug or a Panzer 4 before trying to pull for Panthers and Sturm Panzers. Though again, Panthers could long term be a really strong choice here versus Lenfer, but short term, you need something to stop this very large centaur shaped knife aimed at his throat. Commandos there once more striking, good use of the ambush there by Lenfer, can lose it when they can, but up close as the Commandos. They kind of need some Panzer Grenadiers to back them up with the assault rifles, and they kind of like that. But there you go, so Palmer Crop, you can go for the Panzer 4, you can go for Stugs. You could go for the Ostwind, though again with the Centaur, I recommend something first that can sort of deal with the Centaur, and then you can always go for Ostwind. And there you go, we got Smoke Raid Operation here, which is certainly going to make it harder here for Refero to defend against Lenfer, so we actually got 3 abilities now used here by Lenfer, which is quite impressive, and certainly Smoke Raid Operation is a very nasty ability in that way, since he's going to just call in a lot of smoke, making it hard for an opponent to defend against an assault. Very nasty ability, but also in a sense a fun ability for the one using it. Troops are healing and forcing. We'll have to see what Refero ends up with. Panther 4 Stug I think would be the best bets. Section moving ahead. South is set to counteract with the southern fuel point. Lenfer remains in control here for the most part now. 373 is a 398. Commandos there hiding in the smoke and popping light gammon bombs. Note, by the way, while the game shows they had a timer, they didn't actually. They were what was known as a percussive bomb. Basically, they went off as soon as they hit something. Similarly with the bigger version, the just gammon bomb, there was also such a bomb. They were basically sort of a particular type of commando grenade. Basically, they sort of stuffed some plastic explosives into a little bag there, and then had some device, and then could sort of be set off like that. So there's a little fun note there about the gammon bomb. And we got Anvil tactics there for Lenfer. We also got 2 sapper sections. Now he's got 9 infantry. Well, technically 7 sappers. I'm usually not so sure, but kind of like there's still builder units of one of counters infantry. But we could argue it's 9 infantry units just on a very rough basis. But either way, that's a lot of men. And again, he hasn't bolted at all. He's also in good control of the map. It's certainly quite a chance here for Refero. He's going for the Panzer 4. The sort of safe intermediate choice here. Can deal with infantry, can also deal with the Centaur. I'm guessing that Refero could then sort of follow up with specialists, so he just go for more Panzer 4s. Oh, in mines and ults being laid down here by Lenfer to make it harder for Refero to successfully counter-attack versus Lenfer as well. So that's very good work there by Lenfer. Very good work. Another assault here off from Lenfer. Hit flank. Oh, the Pack 40 goes down. That's a bit of a blow there to Refero. And there we go, Lenfer charging hit. They're using the assault to actually power his sappers fast towards the Pack 40 there. Centaur moving in. Refero right now is in a very, very bad spot. Pioneers to move in. They backed up machine guns. The mortar then up by machine guns are really good at clearing out anti-tank guns, like heavy machine guns. Because anti-tank guns can't be suppressed, meaning the MD-42s or Vickers or whatever heavy machine guns you're using actually does full damage. And that's actually really important. Because normally with infantry, they get suppressed. That actually mitigates a lot of the damage a heavy machine gun team does. But again, anti-tank guns don't get that benefit. But there you go, Panther 4 here for Refero. We'll have to see what Lenfer goes for next, but I could see a Churchill tank here, which is certainly going to be a problem there for the Panther 4 to deal with them. 300 points left here for Refero. Mine goes off. Something else that does some heavy damage to the Panther 4, but not enough. Not Panther 4 Centaur. Pardon my mistake there. Panther 4 rolling through, and oh, he's trying to bait him into the mines. You cheeky bastard, Lenfer. You cheeky, cheeky bastard. And there you go. Successfully managed to pull into one of the mines, but he still loses the Centaur. Another common word for Lenfer, so he's not going to go for the Churchill right away at least. Still, small win there for Refero. The Centaur is dead. It is kaput. Gone. And the tank grenade there to do more damage. All the way, the Refero's only got a small strip of land left, as Lenfer's control most of the map here with the rest of the Guards Armour Division, and Refero is bleeding out of victory points rapidly. Pack 40 before up in the section here. Cromwell almost done there for Lenfer. Seizing points across a broad frontage. He knows he has to sort of get back into this map fast. But there you go, Cromwell out for Lenfer. And another assault to basically sort of help him just push back against Refero already. Refero might want to bring up another MB42 at some point to help deal with all of Lenfer's infantry assaults here. Man went off somewhere. Cromwell charging forward as well here. Panther 4 being slowly fixed out. Mortar wiped. Oh dear, that's a bit of a blow there to Refero and the German army.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Seizing the northern victory point there. Good work. He's trying to slow down the bleed here that Lenfer's got going against him, which obviously makes a ton of sense. Section stopped him, preventing him from grabbing the mortar. That was a bit of a close one there for Refero, since it would have been much more difficult to attack to further push ahead if Lenfer also had the mortar there. Commandos trying to hide here. They're not having a lot of luck with it this time around though. Mortar recruit, and it might risk getting wiped again here. Panther 4 slowly being fixed up. Refero at some point will definitely also want more pioneers. Pack shoots, misses. Lenfers are just forming up a cordon here that makes it much harder for Refero to sort of break out now. He's going to have to pull off some rather aggressive maneuvers for some deep flanks to pull through with this. Pack shoots again, misses again. Panther 4 good to go here for Refero. Commanders crossing the road, trying to take advantage of smoke to hide out in. It's a sneaky ambush tactic he's trying to pull off. In this case, it doesn't quite pan out, but I like the idea here. I like the idea. It's, again, a really good idea. Actually, it's just execution-wise, he got spotted there. But again, otherwise, the idea of just popping a smoke grenade, then using the commander's ability to hide in the smoke, ambush afterwards, is actually really clever. Not something you see a lot there. And had they worked, of course, it could have been devastating for Refero. Devastating. So there's a guy at Lenfer, I think, had, again, in that sense, didn't quite do a lot wrong. He just, a bit of bad luck there. Another section wiped here. Oh, that's actually a saddle section. That's a small win there for Refero. He's down to 178 though versus 398. Lenfer's definitely leading. Guessing it's the Churchill tank next here for Lenfer, and that's going to force some either Stugs or Panzers up for Refero. And Refero goes for Blitzkrieg. An interesting choice, I suppose, for the command tank out and some anti-tanks have already gone that way, try and deal with the Lenfer's assault by absorbing the damage a bit better. Lenfer, at least for now, not going for Churchills. He could also go for Centaurs. Oh, he goes. Oh, okay, he goes for the Churchills. That seems like, wait, why is he going for an AC Mark III? But anyways, grab the northern points here, grab the southern points here. Refero again, see that's just extending aggressively across the map here. Looking to just push as much front as you can. There's most of Lenfer's forces back in the field. On base. Mine hit no Panther 4. Panther 4 hits 2 mines in a row. It is in a very, very bad state here for Refero. And Lenfer senses upon this. He's just like 2 bangs in a row and figures, you know what? He might have hit a mine or 2. Quickly pops assault part, which also helps confirm the next, if it does, you can just, charge your head. He's right now. Refero pretty much just had a mousetrap sprung on him of the more explosive kind there. But there you go, Panther first with the pack there. Combined stops the Cromwell for Church charging forward. The machine gun is being overwhelmed here. Commandos charging forward. They also get the assault bonus, by the way. Used to only be sections, but now it's all infantry. Machine gun wiped out here. Pretty bad state here for Refero. Is going for another Panther 4. Commandos could grab the machine gun then turn again, so we could just use a section. Either way, though, a brutal counterattack here from Lenfer just completely pushes back Refero from the center there, negating any progress he's made and even costing him an MG42. Very potent ability, as you can see there, in the hands of a driven and aggressive player. And there you go, Churchill tank out here for Lenfer. Back here, troops in reinforcing, Panther 4 almost done.
Our lines of supply are disrupted.
But he could definitely, I think, benefit with something with a bit more penetration here versus the Churchill tank. Oh, he goes for the Stug there, very good. Probably because he hurt the Churchill and realised, hang on, 2 Panzer 4s is not going to work. So yeah, Stug got 2 then. I would generally recommend 2 Stugs here. The Churchill is going to be a very good choice there for Refero. And then always longs we can just try and take out for Panthers if he really wants to. Modify against the machine gun here. Got the swing in as well. But yeah, the Churchill, by the way, makes a rather distinct sound of British tanks. So usually you sort of hear it, you can that way make a decision. I imagine that's what Refero did. He just heard the heavy roar of the Churchill, then just kind of went, oh, scheisse. Gun these on the far from the Churchill tank here. Troops are healing and forcing. Panther 4 is good to go. That Panther 4 Stug, well, the Panther 4 there is good to go. The Stug is almost good to go as well. Also worth noting, he now has a Stug close air support ready here to deal with Lenfer's armour. Somebody's moving up. MD42 filling up there for Refero. Again, I would recommend maybe another one. Churchill, Cromwell sitting out there. Grenadiers moving towards the centre. Got commandos there popping their ambush, and a light gun bomb into the midst there of Refero's Grenadiers, almost wiping out 2 squads, but leaving them at least moderate or mildly intact. Commandos need charging forwards, note by way they're ace level. They can quickly do some heavy damage there. Churchill and Cromwell tank following up here. Smokescreen as he pops out. Stug moving in. Needs some Panzer IV support as well here. Mostly just to absorb fire here against the Stug, so you know the Stug doesn't do too much. And we got anti-tank support here from above. Stug is flying in there. The Kanonenvogel, as they're known, opening up the twin 30mm guns there. Doing some damage to the Churchill tank, but not enough. And Lenfer prompts a counter-attack with assault. The skies are alive with aircraft, and apparently none of them are managing to hit each other. Section routed from the west. Lenfer probably finds himself missing the Centaur now that the Refero's unleashed the Luftwaffe against him. Stug being hauled back there, less than half health, so they're not good there for Refero. Centre south, there's an open once more for Refero as he's pointing. That's going to be good for him to, nap then. Stug could do with some repairs. Back here, troops in reinforcing for Refero. And far up north, the gun is being assaulted by the commanders, and close being wiped out here, so not good development there for Refero. Seizing points here. Panzer northward, Stug getting repairs. Refero could still do with another Pioneer squad. And otherwise, more Stugs. North here, Panzer west, the Cromwell gaining virtually 2 shots and added, increasing its durability here as it becomes a bit hard to penetrate. There you go, Nazi, and the Cromwell down to half health. Less than 100 points left here for Refero. That's pretty bad there versus Refero, who's got 333, or 33, or 333. Panzer going for the Blitzkrieg. He's going to try and finish off the Cromwell, gaining virtually 2 on that one, but does not allow it to survive here in encounter with the Panzer IV. Churchill shoots, bounces off the Panzer IV's armour, and Refero's getting it the devil out of there. In the centre, we get a big push for Lenfer, a huge horde of infantry there. Machine gun nearby there to stop. Stug being fixed up. There we go, horde stopped here. Could try and pop some artillery smoke, but they ends up retreating instead here in the face of German might here. Section is going to need to also route as well. That's a full 5 sections. In fact, it's all of Lenfer's section there routed in one go. And following up with a Firefly there to help deal with any fascist armour with the Hans. MD4 through their team are routed. Back here, Panzer IV being fixed up. Now the Panzer IV could be happening, or the command Panzer IV there for Refero. Churchill tank sitting out there again, heading southwards this time around as Refero's just looking to gain as much map as possible. He's at 770 points versus the 330 now of Lenfer. Another big push here. 4 sections backed up with the Churchill tank. Firefly almost good to go there for Lenfer and the Guards Armoured. And there you go, command tank out for Refero. And another assault from Lenfer. Stug command tank within the pack for us banging up here, ready to try and halt Lenfer's assault here. Stug moving ahead here. Sappers continue to advance his section as well. They're just hammering away everything looking remotely German here. Section almost right there by the centre victory point. That's going to be nice there for Refero to get rid of them. Sappers section ahead here. Command tank giving the count on the flank. Panzer IV needs to get moving in as well. Refero still could do with more Pioneers. There you go. Going to least route here by the Sappers. Panzer IV moving in. They could also consider adding machine guns to that one at the very least. Church moving up here. But Lenfer's assault here is running some issues there versus Refero, whose defence proved to be reasonably solid. There you go. Damage hits on the Churchill tank. Firefly hanging back and reserving the section here. Machine gun in the centre versus Grenadiers. Panzer IV could assist as well. Or maybe bring in some mortar fire there. Grenadiers managed to apparently hold back the Commandos, but they're not retreating anyways. Churchill rushing a bit hit, but Panzer decides against him. We got Grenadiers maybe setting up for flanking against Lenfer there. There's mines on the way, so he has to be mindful of that. Section on the front there from the Panzer IV and the Grenadiers. Need to be careful. There you go. Churchill blasts away. Bit of movement in the south, bit of harassment. Command tank being dispatched to deal with exactly the British harassers here, the skirmishers. 4 kills on the field, Panzerwagen. Section moving ahead, he backed up the commanders. The commanders have not been fully reinforced here. He was a bit too quick on the trigger there, as they still have some men to go. Panzer landing a nice hit here, 6 kills, closing reaching 3. Churchill far moving ahead here, no additional armor yet here for Lenfer. There you go, direct hit on the Sturmgeschütz by the Firefly and a 17-pounder gun. And we got here another smoke raid operation off from Lenfer to further try and disrupt here their first positions, all around to grab territory safely. Nice there and by Lenfer, though it doesn't seem like he's doing it with a lot of other stuff, so I don't know if it could end up being a bit of wasted munitions, to be honest. Lenfer falling back for now, though there does seem to be fresh infantry forces moving ahead here. Again, he seems to fasten the trigger then almost since that one that's almost been fully reinforced, but not quite. Panzer IV, they're awfully close to mine. Southern point being seized by Grenadiers. There you go, Grenadiers being suppressed to the M4 troop church will take them in as well here. Routed. And there you go, nasty hit taking out 2 Grenadiers. They're holding on, they're both by 89, 90. Popcat, and there you go, we got anti-aircraft support again in here. Anti-tank support from above. Churchill tank that's taking heavy damage. Infantry getting close to caught up as well here in the anti-tank fire there from the aircraft. Churchill tank taking very heavy damage. The main gun out. Stu Panther 4 here moving about. Firefly moving in to get off some hits as well. Need to be careful not to be caught up in it as well. Smoke that is helping here. The Churchill tank, maybe the infantry will get a bit further out of there. Stu with the damaged engine. Panther 4 moving in. Looks like it's going to go for a deep flank here. Try and take out the Churchill tank. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Firefly lands a nice hit. Churchill tank making a series of quick maneuvers. Panther 4 there. Oh. Not enough here. Can't quite there. Stop up to try and take it out. We got the Firefly moving in. And then again. Spotted it though for the Luftwaffe. And the Luftwaffe takes out the Churchill tank. Destroying Lenfer's heavy tank. Leaving just now with the Firefly. And a lot of infantry. But he has lost another section. So Lenfer's infantry is slowly starting to bleed out here. And he's starting to lose armor as well. Comparatively, Refero's unit preservation has been much tougher, and he's now bringing up more pioneers and MD-42s to further counter Lenfer's strategy and of course support his own armour. Very good there. Lenfer heading northwards there, basically not going to try and attack into Refero head on, which I think is a right idea there, instead heading into where there's less actual resistance. That's a really good idea there. Punishing Refero for leaving the open wide, well, north wide open. Missed up a bit there. Troops moving ahead, we got the Firefly hanging back. Machine gun coming out so against any immediate infantry counterattacks here for the centre at least. Could see that light gun bomb there to force out the conditions out of the building there, close to collapsing. Command tank to rescue there, 11 kills. Pinman machine flying behind to the Panther 4, very good. We got 46 versus 211. Lenfer still enjoys a third victory upon leader of Refero here. So Refero's doing what he can to sort of minimise that. Firefly trying to knock out the house here, but so far is having a pretty poor luck there. Great for Refero, though. He needs to be careful with those Grenadiers. I mean, one good hit and that thing collapses. Up north here, Panther 14 with the sections there. Oh, more hit the machine gun into the Firefly. Oh no! The command tank killed the Grenadiers by accident. Tried to take out the section retreating past the house and instead hit the building with its AoE attack, knocking it out and killing the Grenadiers. Oh, Refero. Oh dear. A tragic loss of German lives. As a rule of thumb, if a house is close to collapsing, you generally don't stuff infantry in it. In particular, if you got anything, even yourself, that could accidentally set it off. In the south, Grenadiers are being suppressed with the machine gun there. Commander section moving ahead here. But now Refero's the one in control of the map here. Lenfer's the one on the back foot. Struggling to make any progress versus Refero and the German army. And so far, the first major wipe against Refero was basically by Refero's own hands rather than Lenfer. 22 machine gun there. We got another assault here though from Lenfer, from the Commonwealth. For King and Country. Machine gun there quickly getting focused down. As the Firefly advances backed up anti-tank into machine guns. Panther Force going to move to the north here. Try and flank here, I think, Lenfer's assault. Stuart there dealing with the Firefly head on. Panther Force trying to flank in there. Almost got the Firefly there actually. Let's move to the north here, catching a lot of sections Sabbath seat in the open with the light machine guns hosing them down with good German lead. Mortar there being pushed back by the sections. Firefly falling back as it is heavily damaged. Would certainly be a bit of a disaster here for Lenfer to lose that now. 46 versus 158. Gunners versus section. Gunners moving about. Troops healing and enforcing. MG42, the half 8 of veteran free machine moving up. The gunners moving as well. In the south point security, we've got commanders sending out there for Lenfer and the British Army. Panther 4 moving southwards here, ace level. Very good work there by Refero. Brings in the centre here, those are the sections charging forwards there by Lenfer. Commanders hiding out. Commander spotted. But Firefly to the rescue pushes away the Panther 4. For now anyways. And we got another smoke raid off here from Lenfer. Looks like to support a push in the centre here. Cheeky, but effective. If you could just sort of manage to follow through there. And we got tactical movement. Wow. If that means I think Refero's almost used every ability. I think he's used Banditism. Actually, he may not, but you know, except for the Conzo flight, he's could at least possibly used almost every ability there, which is quite nice. Stu there charging forwards. Almost got the Firefly, but no, this dude's in a bad spot. And the anti-tank and takes it out there. Bit of bad luck there for Refero. The good luck for Lenfer. Still, the smoke is making a mess of the battlefield here, making it harder here for Refero and Lenfer to sort of fight effectively. But again, for Lenfer, that means he can sort of attack better. But for Refero, it also allowed him to counterattack Lenfer and bypass some of the elements and do some heavy damage. Gun those driven away there. Command tank moving ahead here. Almost lost the command tank here to enemy anti-tank fire there. Looks like he might go in there. We do not definitely have pan-substitution, meaning again, he's used almost every ability except reconnaissance overflight. Lenfer's only used 3 abilities in comparison, though mortar cover. It's actually got a bit of a air supremacy operation, certainly a bit of a trickier one. Panther 4 charging in, he might try and go for deep flank and take out things there. Bold move there, straight into the Firefly there, damage engine as well. Stug on the way, command tank managed to survive here. 16 kills in the Panther 4 as Lenfer's base is now in the hot zone here. Having to deal with a Panther 4 with no anti-tank that's available, since the one he has is currently being outmaneuvered essentially. Even with the damaged engine, if the Panther 4 can just stay close enough, the anti-tank can't effectively turn fast enough to deal with it. Although he could try here with rapid maneuvers, which actually allows the tank to turn fast as well, but most players never use that. And there you go. Referee a bit sluggish with his Panther 4, losing himself the Panther 4 ace there. Bit of luck there for Lenfer, but the situation is always still not pretty for him. Not pretty at all.
We've 100 points left.
98 points left here versus Refero's 46. Another Panther 4 there for Refero and Germany. Lenfer lining up for another big assault grenade versus the section there. Panther 4 keeps hammering away there. Machine gun opening up there, and you send the armor pigeon around. Very good suppressing troops there. Sappers on the move. Light skirmishing in the south. Centre west, we got the commanders and tank machine moving up. Panther 4 charging in there to deal some damage here to Lenfer. Commanders immediately routed though. Anti-tank and looks to be in a bit of a rough spot here for Lenfer. There we go. Anti-tank and crew goes down. Section routed here. We got 46 versus 52. 49. Situation for Lenfer is starting to look pretty desperate. 46, 40 feet. 40. What is Lenfer going to try and do here versus Refero now? 37. 34. Commando section charging. Command tank obviously is not really threatened by them at all, since they lack anti-tank weapons of any kind. 25. 22. Machine gun gaining ace level, very good there. 19. Command's being annihilated, section being annihilated. I think Lenfer at this point is just chucking away his stuff because he can. He doesn't even care if it survives. And the tank gun went down. 7. Soon. There we go. 7. 4. 2 being murdered. 1. And that's obviously GG here in a few moments. And there you go, GG, game over. Lost there for Lenfer, a victory for Refero. A nasty fight here, certainly highlighting what the British can do with a lot of infantry. Lenfer, I think, late game still ran some issues. I'm not entirely sure if here the angle was right. I think Hammer and Comets might have worked out better there for Lenfer, something more mobile. And at times I think he should also put more pressure on the flanks and also consider some more mines or something else. In that regard, his strategy, while it's certainly very boldly aggressive, again, it lacks something for the longer run, which allowed Refero to slowly play around it and sort of wear him down before launching some larger counterattacks. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. And if you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. This is Pro LinkedIn. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.